Hi guys, it's Colleen from Siempre Soul 1111. I hope you're all doing well. I just wanted to say thank you to each and every one of you that's subscribed to the channel so far. For anyone new that's watching, welcome. I'm going to be doing a reading here for every star sign for the latter part of October, and I'll timestamp down the bottom for each star sign. I'm going to just go through by element, if that makes sense. We'll do fire, water, earth, then air, and yeah, it's going to be a quick sort of general love reading check-in by each star sign, and I'm hoping to kind of get all star signs done within about 1 hour video. If this works well, then there's a chance that I'll probably look to do this once a week, so that you guys get a weekly update from me. And I'll be doing an up-to-date twin flame reading after this as well, for the divine masculine and the divine feminine, for those of you that are twin flames. If you guys don't already do so, I do also do weekly readings on an Instagram page, and that's the same name as the channel, Siempre Soul 1111. And I'm also doing a bit of work on the website at the moment, so you'll see that going up, and then at some point I will open up to personal readings. But I want to get the website sort of sorted first. I'm hoping to have that done in the next month or so, so we will see. So yeah, I'm going to start off with Aries, and we're going to look at, you know, the balance for the rest of the month, for the month of October, and we'll take a little look at what's going on in the life of an Aries at the minute. We're going to look at the sort of past situation, present situation, and the future situation, and then I'll pull a romance angel oracle card as well for you guys at the end of the reading. But I'm going to try and keep these sort of short and snappy, so that you guys can get regular updates from me really, but I just do it all in one video. Then it's one upload, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that should work quite well. We'll see. We'll give it a go anyway. Let's take a look at what's happening from Aries. Okay, so there's a blockage here for me with the Queen of Cups coming out. First of all, Aries, this is about not communicating about how you're feeling. We've also got the Eight of Wands here, and the Eight of Wands is all about communication. So I feel with this connection, Aries, that there needs to be a discussion with you both surrounding how you feel. And for me, this is a kind of advice from the cards on this, is that it's to speak from the heart and not the head. Yeah, I do feel like one of you needs to, there's a bit of a deadlock here. It feels like the energy is just a bit stuck. And we've also got the Knight of Pentacles in the future situation, which is, again, this is about making an offer. But the Knight of Pentacles is very slow moving energy, and you've got that next to the present situation with the Eight of Wands, which is really fast moving energy. So I do feel a little bit like you're torn. It's like, should I step forward, shouldn't I step forward? And I feel that the past situation here is something that's caused some, you know, some major upset. But the advice of the cards is to take it slow and steady. I'm going to pull some clarifiers just on the Knight of Pentacles, and we can see what's happening. Ace of Swords, yeah. Okay, so this is the Ace of Swords has come out in the reverse on this, and the Ace of Swords is all about new beginnings, and also it's about speaking your truth and bringing clarity to a situation. So I do feel a little bit here like there's hesitancy to step forward and speak your truth with this person. Yeah, because this person has upset you. You know, with the Five of Cups here, this is. It's upset, but it's also perhaps one of you's not seen what you had with that person. You know, you sort of don't know what you've got till it's gone. And I feel like there is definitely an element of here needing to speak your truth, but emotionally, and telling this person how you actually feel. Yeah, okay. So we've got in the present situation, we've got the Hanged Man, but it's in reverse. So the advice from the cards in the present situation is to move away from sort of stagnation, move away from no movement at all. But I do feel that this communication, whatever it's been, it hasn't been very nurturing. It hasn't been a nice experience for you or them. I don't know which one of you two, you know, have had the falling out. It could be that you both owe each other an apology, but there does need to be, with two aces coming, two swords coming out here with these cards, for me there definitely needs to be some clarity brought about to the situation. Yeah, because look, you both want the same thing: satisfaction, fulfillment, happiness, unity in the future situation. Yeah, I feel like one of you has been, you know, it's definitely, instead of running away from this situation, you know, you need to move forward but back towards it and actually get some reconciliation on the move, because I think once this communication happens, it will bring about balance to this connection, Aries. Yeah, I look here, Four of Pentacles here, and this is for me about sort of not letting go of past hurts. I think there genuinely needs to be some forgiveness and some honest, you know, clear communication for this coming week or for the rest of this month. So whatever situation it is, Aries, that you're in at the moment and it isn't being resolved and it's stuck, communication but from the heart is needed to bring about clarity. I think you guys have just got to be honest with each other, let go of past hurts and come from a place of, how can I phrase this? Sometimes it's not about who's right and who's wrong. Sometimes it's about doing what's right. And this case is about doing what's right. If you've upset somebody or they've upset you, you don't get to decide other people's hurt the same way they don't get to decide yours. So whilst as adults you can agree to disagree, I think the focus needs to be on getting that sort of happy ending rather than you did this, you did that, you're right, I'm wrong, blah, blah, blah. It's a case of just bringing about clarity, apologising for upsetting anyone's feelings, and moving this forward, because, you know, this connection can and is good. But it's about bringing this cycle of stagnation to a close, okay? So you're able to move this connection forward. We're going to just take a little look at, and sometimes, you know what, that's just saying, I'm really sorry I upset you. You don't have to agree on the situation, but I didn't mean to upset you. And that can go a long way to bringing about closure, you know. Right, what are the romance oracles saying? Let go of control issues. Allow this situation to unfold naturally. So again, if one of you are, or both of you are being stubborn at the moment, I think it's time to release that now for the next couple of weeks and just focus on reconciliation. All right, my darlings? Right, we're going to move on to the, I'm just going to make a note of that time, 7:47. And then we're going to move on to the reading for Leos. Let's see what's going on for the Leo collective for the rest of this month. I'm going to go for four of these because the last card out was the Four of Pentacles on that last reading. We'll go into Leo energy now for the rest of the month of October. What is happening for me? I'll split the deck. Okay, so again, this kind of filters in from the Aries reading. Actually, we've got the Ace of Swords in reverse here for you Leos, and again, this is about not speaking your truth. The advice in the past situation, there's been a situation that's kind of upset you, perhaps tired you out, and really got you down, and I feel like you haven't been honest with this person about how it's made you feel. And I feel that obviously, whilst you may have felt like there was a short-lived victory in this situation, actually, as time is passing, this conflict is not sitting right with you. It's really, really not. This past situation, whatever it is, it's unclear. It feels very unclear at the moment for you Leos. And at the minute you're in a phase of just feeling wounded by this situation. But I feel with action, you know, when the ones are about action, I feel that with action you can overcome this. There can be sort of a victorious outcome for it. I feel as well with the, you know, getting these the wands are all about sort of fire energy, so you're kind of coming up in your own readings here, Leo, and I do feel that perhaps maybe it was a reaction rather than an action that's created this situation. Yeah. I feel that in this situation, Leo, that you've perhaps not stood up for yourself. You've not spoken your truth when it comes to this situation. And it's bothering you. This is, this is bothersome energy here. It's not sitting right. And I feel that whatever the conflict is that's happened for you guys, Leo, it's created a tower moment. And this is, the tower card can be a wonderful omen, I think, in readings, because it's about sort of deconstructing the old and building the new. And I think this, whatever this situation is that's happened with you, perhaps with this, with another fire sign here, because we've got 3 cards for the, from the Wands suit here. One of you has walked away. One of you has walked away from this situation, and it's not sitting right at this present moment. But what I can say from the Tower card coming up in the centre of this reading, Leo, is that, this is a time of huge transformation for you. And I think it will be a good thing. I really, really do. Yeah. Okay, so I feel, Leos, with this card in the future situation, there's been this element of perhaps deceiving yourself about what this connection has meant to you. And I think with the Queen of Swords here in the future situation, I think there's the Swords energy are very sort of cold, or can be cold, quite logical, quite black and white. And I feel that this situation, I feel like you've been sort of running from your emotions on it, Leo, because the Cups here are all about emotional energy. I just feel that with this, getting the 4 of Swords in reverse here, this in the upright, this card is about deception. But it's also, it can be about sort of laying your weapons down. But in the reverse for me, I feel that perhaps you've mentally felt that there was some sort of deception, and actually that hasn't transpired. And this has caused a really big sort of shift with you, because I think all was not as it seemed. And the disintegration of this particular connection, and remember, this isn't a twin flame reading. This can be any connection. This could be to do with work, family, friends. It's not specific to twin flames. But in this particular connection, I think that mentally there was an assumption made, and that assumption wasn't correct. And there's been sort of some crossed swords, and perhaps you've stood your ground, or they have, and it's created a huge division. I do feel a little bit here as well that perhaps emotionally you're missing the presence of this person, or they're missing you, Leos. We've also got the outcome here of the Page of Wands, so I do feel like this is the cards advising you here to sort of step forward. Communication, pages are all about communication, and the Wands are about action. So for me, if you've been contemplating or mulling over whether to step forward on this connection, the advice of the cards for this, the rest of this month is to step forward, but with an open heart and an open mind. I'm going to get some clarification just on this tower, because I kind of want to know, because it's at the heart of the reading in the present situation for you guys. I can see that you're going through a bit of a tough time because this person's walked away. So I just want to see a little bit more, get a little bit more clarification on that for you. Justice, yeah. So again, this is about bringing balance to this connection, righting wrongs. I think this person in this connection got bored of waiting. The 2 of Wands in the upright here is normally about waiting, and I feel that this person has, you or they have stopped waiting and said, you know what, enough is enough. I'm calling time on this. If this connection's not balanced, then I need to walk away and do what's right for me. But I do think that, there's a lot. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 10, 11 cards here are Wands. So this could be about another fire sign, Leo. Yeah. Look, the Two of Swords in reverse here. This energy is generally, can be about sort of sticking your head in the sand and not wanting to face the situation, but it can also be about being stuck mentally and not sure how to move forward. So I do feel that towards the end of this month, if you look forward and you know, engage in some form of communication and see some forward movement, you know, you'll move out of that energy, because that Two of Swords has come out in the reverse. So I feel for me that's coming out of that cycle of feeling sort of stuck, and this Tower moment has created you to want to bring balance into this connection, because this person has stopped waiting, and instead of burying your head in the sand about this and not wanting to communicate, you need to, you know, the advice of the cards is you or they need to step forward. Let's take a little look at what the Romance Oracle cards are saying as well for this, you know, next fortnight for you guys to bring about at the end of October. One more. Flirt. Extend your light-hearted energy to others. So again, with the Page of Wands, right, this is kind of quite young energy. And so I feel with the Romance Oracle cards advising you to kind of, you know, flirt and bring about light-heartedness to this connection. I think you can move this heaviness, just reaching out, but making light of the situation. Okay, that concludes the Leo reading, and that's at 16:29. We're going to move on to the Sagittarius reading. This card flew off as well, Leo, so just to follow up on that, look, the Knight of Wands. So again, it's another Wands, and again, this is about acting. So, you know, do move forward, or they need to move forward when it comes to communication or an offer in the physical to bring about this connection, bring about resolution. So we're now going to move on to Sagittarius for the balance of October. Let's see what's going on for you guys. I'm going to stick to 4 shuffles between each reading. I think 4s are about stability, and I quite like. One more, I think. So you have to excuse my flyaway hair. I'm house sitting for a friend. They're on their honeymoon, and I'm dog sitting. They've got 2 dogs, and I put all my clothes, my hair products, my makeup in their back bedroom, and the door's shut, so I don't have access to any of my stuff. I'm literally rotating 2 outfits at the moment, which is, you know, I'm having to do lots of washing to make sure that. Wow. Saggies, you guys have been going through it. Okay, so with this, in the past situation, I feel that with this reading at the moment, that there's definitely a need for reconciliation or apology. We've got a lot of cards that have come out in the reverse in this reading for you guys, Saggies. So I feel that with this, in the past situation, there was a lot of happiness in this connection. And this person was a, you know, like a wish come true for you guys. But there has been an element of some toxicity or aggression or anger or disagreement. And I think you guys in the past situation have moved away from feeling from that anger and moved more towards reconciliation, union and happiness. I feel a little bit here, Saggies, as well, as I look at the cards, that I feel here that in the present situation, I feel like you've got doubts about this connection. There's a situation that's happened that I feel for you guys is not completely resolved. I feel like you're moving away from the toxicity and the anger on the situation, but I feel emotionally that there's still some hurt here over an apology that should have happened in the present situation. You know this person can make you happy. You know that you enjoy each other's company, and I hear when you're good, but when you're bad, you're horrid. And it's finding that sort of balance between the two of you. I feel like this connection, whilst it's a happy one, and you're working through your differences at the moment, I do feel that there needs to be some forward movement when it comes to an apology. God, fire signs, the readings have been heavy this morning for you guys, but I feel that there's conflict. I mean, this could be linked to the Aries new moon as well, with the fire energy on this. You're definitely feeling stuck by this situation, and you're missing this sort of past harmony that you've had. You're working through it, but it does feel very heavy. It feels stuck, guys. It really, really does feel stuck, and I feel like that you're not communicating at all about how you're feeling. I think it's one of those things that it's a agree to disagree, but it's not been resolved. You can't sort of keep sweeping these lumps under a rug, because eventually you'll start tripping up on those lumps if you don't resolve them. Really crap metaphor. I don't know where that came from, but go with it. But there's a definite need for communication. Definitely. You need to alleviate this confusion emotionally that you're feeling about this connection. Yeah. Sagittarius, are you guys not loving yourself enough? Are you not feeling worthy of this connection? Are they triggering childhood trauma or wounds that you've got, and this is causing conflict? I really do feel like you need to... The message in this for me, this reading, is about focusing on love for self to bring about harmony into this connection. I feel like perhaps mentally there's a lot of challenges in terms of just accepting this connection for what it is. One of you not feeling good enough. I feel insecurities, confusion, toxicity, but not a direct conflict almost. I think if you've been struggling, Sagittarius, to open up to this person about what you're going through, please take a bit of time out to communicate to them and put them in the picture. I feel almost a bit like this is, you don't know what's wrong, or you can't figure it out, and this person kind of knows that something's not right, but they don't quite know what. And I think if there was any advice I could give you in this situation, is that if you are struggling, or they are, to avoid any sort of stress or anxiety for the other party, it can sometimes be quite prudent to say, I don't know what's wrong. Once I've figured it out, I'll talk to you, but it's not to do with you, if that's your scenario. And that just sets the expectations. But I feel that there needs to be just an element of asserting yourself emotionally here. So maybe over the course, and this may only resonate with a small few of you, but part of being in a connection with somebody else is being able to speak honestly, not just about what you think or what needs to be done, but also about how you're truly feeling. So yeah, that's the advice that I would give you for the rest of this month, Sagittarius, because it feels like one of you is just not being open, and it's impacting the harmony within this connection. Not enough for it to come to an end, but I almost feel like with this star card coming out in reverse, it's kind of like, is this too good to be true almost? And I think that's sort of tarnishing the connection and leaving one person feeling sort of a little bit baffled. Hopefully this will resonate with you guys, but I think the first step is to really sort of identify where that comes from. Yeah, new love, a new person has stirred romantic feelings. So guys, again, this could well be that it's a new connection that you know, one or both of you are trying to sort of struggle with. And in any new relationship, there's always sort of a period of balancing and just, you know, learning each other more. But part of that journey in new love is also starting afresh. So if there is any sort of baggage or emotional trauma that's being carried into this new connection, Sagittarius, you know, you've got to be honest and upfront with them so they understand you, and vice versa. Obviously the energies are interchangeable here, okay? I'm going to bring this reading to a close. Time's now 24:39. And I'm going to move on to my water signs for Pisces, okay? So hi Pisces, welcome in. I'm going to be doing a general love reading for the rest of this month. And we're going to see what's going on with you guys. Remember that this is a love reading, but it can also just be about every connection, okay? It's not linked or governed by twin flames only. This can be soulmates, it could be friends, it could be family. But we're going to take a little look at the past, present and future situation of this connection, okay? Pisces for the rest of this month, please. What's going on with people and connections at the moment, man? The energy's all very heavy. Okay. Okay, future situation's not looking terrible. Okay, so Pisces, I feel within this connection there's been a bit of a falling out. And I do feel like it's been a connection that you've had to work very hard at. But I almost feel a little bit like one of you or both of you in the connection are not seeing this for what it is. The past situation, that's the past situation for, you know, for this connection at the moment. And I feel like at the minute it's just hard work. Putting in the legwork to bring about harmony. But the passion, it's, you know, sorry, in the present situation, the connection itself is passionate. But there is this element of perhaps one of you not seeing what's in front of you at the minute. Emotionally, it does feel like this relationship in the past situation and in the current present situation is quite heavy. I feel like there needs to be some resolution here. We've also got the Six of Cups here. And this is about sort of nostalgia. So I feel a little bit at the minute where the connection's just kind of, it's disharmonious. There's an element of feeling emotionally, tracking back to days gone by, the nostalgia, the happiness of former times. But you know, this connection is a soulmate connection. This is the real deal. It's a divinely guided connection, and I feel that perhaps a little bit here that you guys are just not following your intuition, following your life path on this. There feels like there's a lot of waiting with this connection as well, you know, with the Three of Wands here. This is kind of energy about waiting for your ships to come in. That's like the energy of this card. And I feel threes are kind of, for me, the energy is about working together. And I think if you guys can work together and move away from this mentality of this connection is hard work and, you know, feeling a bit like, with this, the connection is hard work at the moment and you guys are not following your intuition, yeah, but you are a soulmate, a solid soulmate connection. And it's almost a little bit like one of you is waiting for the other person to apologise. But you've got to take action, you know, you've got to take action and move forward. I feel a little bit like one of you feels this connection is hard work and then the other one's like, no it's not, we're doing all right. And I feel like there's just a bit of miscommunication. There's no swords in this, so I feel like the communication is not present. It's finding, you know, look, finding some balance between the two of you, because I think you've both got different points of view in terms of how well this relationship is doing. One of you is perfectly happy, and I think, and satisfied that, you know, the connection is moving well. The other person is like, I'm not so sure. That's what the energy feels like. But I think you need to work together to be able to move this forward. Move away from Two of Pentacles here. This is not really moving. It's kind of tap dancing on the spot. And that's not going to take the connection to the next level. One of you is feeling stuck. But you can move, if you move away from feeling stuck and this confusion, you can have victory. Look. Yeah? So move away from this stuck energy in the next couple of weeks. You're not stuck in this connection. I think you guys just need to bring about some clarity to it. Understand each other's feelings. Alright, let's see what the romance angels have got to say for you guys, Pisces. Codependencies, addictions are affecting your romantic life. So again, perhaps one of you is more codependent than the other, and that's something that needs to be discussed. This could be the challenge, you know. One of you wants to, I don't know, for example, settle down and just chill out at home. The other one wants to live a little bit more. I don't know, but whatever this situation is, you guys need to, you know, you need to talk about it over the next couple of weeks. Okay guys, that concludes the Pisces reading, which is at 13:50. We need to move on to Cancer now, so we'll take a little look at what's happening for you guys. Right, so what's happening for my Cancer for the rest of the month of October? I have connection, past, present and future. Okay, Cancers for the rest of October, past situation. Okay, how I read this, Cancers, is that there is a third party situation. So one or both of you are in an existing relationship, and I feel like there's been a little knight in shining armour that's come in and perhaps thrown things out of sync. I feel that there's the existing relationship, and then there's this new person that's come in that you undoubtedly know to be a soulmate. You know that this connection with this person is not of the 3D realm, it's something super special, and this is causing anxiety in the present situation for you. This is causing conflict. I feel like almost there's this element of being torn, because you've got the 10 of Cups, which for me feels like when you're around this person, there's passion, there's love, there's connectivity, there's unity, there's fulfillment. But there's also disharmony, because we've got another 3 of Cups, and this card is about unity and having fun. And I feel like this situation, whilst in the you know, the moments when you guys are together, there's happiness. When you're not, there's disharmony, and there's actually a lot of anxiety. I think that you know, there's been a lot of sleepless nights surrounding the pressure of this situation. I feel almost a little bit here, like Cancers, that it's not something that you've actually gone out looking for. I think it's something that's just happened, and you're really struggling to digest and process this. Meeting this person has definitely caused a huge transformation in your life, and with this Tower coming out in the future situation, there's going to be deconstructions on this. I do feel a little bit, you know, we've got the Hanged Man here in reverse, and in the upright, this energy is about sort of taking a bit of time out for yourself. And I feel like this Tower moment has created a lot of chaos, and you're not getting that time you need to focus it. So my advice on this situation is to go with it. You know, go with the flow of the situation and ascertain how you're truly feeling. Because, you know, the 4 of Wands in reverse, this is all about sort of conflict. And I think that if you can take a bit of time out for yourself, accept the situation for what it is rather than perhaps trying to control it, you'll feel less conflicted. It's definitely this soulmate or love, you know, new connection that's come in that's causing this in the present and future situation. It's causing that sort of conflict, and I know that if you can try and get some decent night's sleep and sort of proper rest, you'll be able to move away from feeling so conflicted and get some clarity on the situation. Yeah. Clarifying the Five of Wands is the Four of Wands. So guys, look, the Four of Wands is what I would call my union, stability, foundation. It's my twin flame card. And I feel that this is a twin flame connection that's come in and taken you by surprise, but you're already spoken for. And that's heavy energy, that's stress. Yeah, look, huge confusion about this and how best to move forward. I want to get some additional advice for you guys. So I can get some advice please for Cancers for the rest of this month. Feels heavy, guys. Right, the advice for you guys for this month is about forward movement and balance. This is about, I think, balancing yourself emotionally about how you're feeling with this. You can't help who you fall in love with, you know, and not everything has to be dealt with there and then in that moment. You know, I think taking a bit of time out for yourself is good, because I know that this situation is you're not feeling satisfied with it, albeit that there are moments when you're perhaps with this person that you're feeling happy. But I do feel that you need to, perhaps the advice for the next couple of weeks is to communicate and be honest about that. Even if it's not something that you don't want to do in the physical in terms of communication, perhaps just maybe get a diary and get you know your thoughts out of your mind so that you're able to kind of sleep a little bit better, because this doesn't make you a bad person, you know. But I definitely think that, you know, speaking about this and or writing in a diary and bringing some clarity to the situation will help you for the rest of this month, and it should enable you to get some rest, which I feel with the energy in this reading is really, really needed, because with that Tower card, your world's been sort of, well, your world as you know, it's not the same, is it? What have the romance angels got to say for our Cancers? Separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. So maybe again, this is what you've been challenged with, is splitting up with the existing person or splitting up with this new spiritual soul that's come into your life. And I understand that that's a big thing, but you can't stay stuck forever, you know. You've got to do what's right. All right, my darlings, that concludes the readings for Cancers, and it's 37:45, and I'm going to move across to Scorpios now for the rest of October. We'll see what's going on there. Hello, Scorpios, welcome in. I'm going to do a reading for you guys for the rest of October. A quick sort of energy check-in on connections. This doesn't have to be soulmates or twin flames, or it can be friends, family, anything, but we're going to take a little look at what's going on for you guys for the rest of this month, past, present and future situation, in a connection or a love connection with someone. But as I said, it doesn't have to be love. I'm going to just shuffle one more time. We'll see the best, and then we'll get the reading started for you guys to see what's going on. Okay, so for this, I feel that this is a collective of Scorpios that are currently single, because the energy of this, if this is a, you know, to do with a love connection, you're enjoying spending time with your friends, and at the minute you're feeling, you know, in the past situation, pretty happy and satisfied. Yeah, life is good. Emotionally, you're feeling very secure and stable. Financially, you've got stability. But I feel a little bit for you guys here that you're ready to settle down now. It's almost a bit like you're settled emotionally, you're in a solid place, you've got good friends, good family, good people around you, good support network. Financially, you're settled and stable, you know where you're at. So the next tangible step for you guys is having someone in your life romantically. Because I feel that almost like you're waiting for this, you know, an offer to come in, and there will be an offer. but the sort of burden of not having someone in your life is weighing heavy on your mind at the moment. I feel a little bit like here that, is it ever going to happen for me? I hear that. So that may resonate with a few of you here, Scorpios. Yeah, look, we've got the Lovers card in the future situation, which is in reverse, and this is a soulmate card. So I do feel a little bit like you're feeling conflicted because there's no soulmate in your life, and you are just craving and desiring that emotional connection with someone else. You want to share the fruits of your labour, and you want to share all the, you know, your life, your successes. That's cute. That's really nice. I mean, we've got the King of Wands here as well. So for me, I feel like that there is going to be forward movement, and this could be from an earth or it could be from a fire sign. But this new person that's going to come in. Also here, we've got the Three of Pentacles. So this person isn't going to be someone from your social circle. It's not going to be somebody that you know of. I think it's going to be somebody where there's going to be initially a connection of passion, but this person is going to be your wish granted. You know, the outcome of this is good, Scorpios, you know. Your King of Cups is on the move, but it's not going to be someone you know, and there will be wish fulfillment. But this, my darlings, with this Knight of Pentacles, this is not going to happen. I would say it's going to happen perhaps within the next 12 months. Okay? I'm going to pull a Romance Oracle card for you guys as well, just to see what's going on. But yeah. Don't be disheartened, you know, just good things come to those who wait. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Say no more. Okay, my darlings, that will conclude the reading for Scorpios. So it's 42:10. I'm going to now move on to Taurus. Scorpios, thank you very much. So, hiya Tauruses. I'm going to be doing a general reading for you guys for the rest of this month. It's a general, I call it a general love reading because that's kind of the general gist of it, but it can be also not about love, it can be about family, it could be about friends. It's basically any sort of connection that you've got with a person that could come through, so it's not specifically limited to twin flames, okay? So, what's going on for Taurus? I'm going to do 4 shuffles like I have done for every other reading. 3. Taurus. What's going on for Taurus for the rest of the month of October? Yes, we're going to look at the past, present and future situation for you guys, okay? Ooh. Big energy. Okay, Taurus, let's take a little look. In the past situation, okay, so we've got the Magician card straight out of the bat, yeah? And the Magician card is all about manifestation and having everything you need to have success, yeah? And I feel a little bit here, the energy of this connection is a little bit unstable. I feel one of you is very spiritual, the other one isn't. And this is causing a little bit of disharmony, a little bit of upset, where you guys can't see eye to eye. I feel that this has caused more recently a bit of a separation for this connection, because here you've got, you know, between these two columns, there's that for me is the yin yang and finding that balance. And we've also got the yin yang present for me as well with the black and white here in the Chariot card. And the Chariot card is about fast moving, quick forward movement. So I feel like this is a connection that's come into your lives, guys, that has happened very, very quickly. But as this connection is is moved on. There has been some conflict surrounding perhaps spiritual beliefs or religious beliefs, or yeah, a point of difference between the two of you guys. And I feel there's been a separation due to some conflict for one of you. I think one of you is feeling conflicted, the other one isn't. So again, there's a lot of duality and polarity with this connection. And I feel that at the heart of the reading is the Page of Swords. So this person is, even though you're in separation at the moment, guys, I do feel a little bit like this person is still keeping an eye on you from afar. They do want to communicate, but this person is traditionally a communicator from the head and not the heart. And this has honestly left one of you feeling, you know, pretty upset. I think the advice that I would give you guys to have satisfaction within this connection for, you know, the rest of this month is definitely break the cycle of not being in communication, or this, you know, appease this situation when it comes to the separation, and just kind of accept each other for your differences, because whilst that person here with this 9 of Cups, you or them, you know, perhaps this particular point that you're disagreeing on is that one missing cup for this to be the best connection ever. That one cup is missing. There can be compromise. You know, there really, really can. You don't have to see the world through the same eyes as your partner all of the time, or this person all of the time. Whatever this situation is that's caused this recent sort of separation or disconnection of you guys, I think when the synergy of the connection is good, it's really good. But at the moment, there's a struggle with the two of you in terms of balancing the energies within this connection. And we've got 2 9s in the Cups and also in the Wands here. And I feel that one of you is just... with this almost like one of you is a doer and the other one is a sayer, and I feel that your approaches are slightly different, and that's causing a bit of a division at the minute between you. But the advice of the cards for this month is to bring this cycle to a close. We've got the 10 of Swords here in reverse. So my gist I get from this is, whilst this other person speaks more from the logical mind and less from the intuitive mind, actually respecting their differences and respecting your differences is a healthy thing in a connection. And I think if we can release that and, you know, that conflict, you can bring this cycle of upset and separation to a close. I'm going to take a little look for you Tauruses in terms of the Romance Angel cards now, just to see what additional advice I can give you. But I think it is honestly just recognising the differences within each other and respecting them. There's that element of sort of unconditional love, and recognising that perhaps where you've got strengths, the other person hasn't. And that between the two of you, you can actually have a really nice balance in your connection where you've got strengths in different areas, and actually respectfully appreciate the fact that you two will have different views on things sometimes, but that doesn't need to be a sort of deal breaker. It doesn't need to be a make or break situation. Calling in your soulmate, your prayers, affirmations and visualizations help bring you together. So if you've been feeling conflicted, then it's a case of, I would say, to spend a bit of time meditating on the situation and how you move forward, and ask yourself, is this enough for you to not be with this person anymore, or not have this person in your life? Only you can decide that. You know, you've got to follow your own intuition, but there is still a lot of happiness within this connection. All right, my darlings, I wish you well. It's 49:10. I'm going to move on to the Virgo reading now. So take care of yourselves, and I'll check back in with you in a couple of weeks' time, Taurus, okay? Right, hello Virgos, how are you? I'm going to be doing a general love reading. I call this a general love reading, but it doesn't have to be a love connection. This is any connection. It could be family, friends, but it's a connection that we're going to take a little look at the situation. This could also be a romance one, but you know, take what resonates with you. I do 4 shuffles at the beginning, the same as I've done for every other star sign on this reading. I hope you guys are doing well and you're happy. And I hope the rest of this month is kind to you. Right, 1 more shuffle. For my Virgos. What's happening for you guys? What's happening for my Virgos? Split the deck. I'm going to start the reading and see what's happening in the past, present and future situation for you guys. Excuse me. Okay, let's just sit with this for a minute. Okay. For this Virgos, I feel like this is a relatively new connection that you've had with this person, and it's a connection where there is a huge amount of passion and sort of chemistry. Yeah. I feel like this person has definitely is a confident person, perhaps sexually, but a confident person all the same. This could be you as well. Remember, the energies are interchangeable. And I do feel a little bit like this connection is kind of footloose, fancy free. You're having a lot of fun. But for you at the moment, whilst this person is a wish being granted, I do feel that it's a little bit volatile and it's not offering you the stability that you want. I feel a little bit here, almost a bit like this person. They're passionate, they're fun, they keep things fresh, but they're really crap, either crap with money or they're just not very stable, you know, consistent. Yeah, and that's a bit of a bugbear for you guys in the past situation. But the good news with this is, I feel a little bit in the present situation, Virgos, that you're not communicating about this at the minute. Oh. You're not communicating about it because in the upright, this card is all about communication, but it's come out in the reverse. So you're not communicating in the present situation about how you feel. Because if you look at this, the Queen of Cups, which has come up in the heart of the reading in the present situation, she's got her back turned to that communication. So I feel a little bit like maybe perhaps you've tried to communicate with this person emotionally and they're just kind of not getting it because they're fun and they don't take life too seriously and they don't worry about the same things that you do. But actually, the key essence of this is actually something that's really, really important. So I do feel that sometimes you've got to try more than one approach to be able to get through to somebody, because I've got this theory in my life that, you know, when my partner and I have a disagreement, sometimes it's like I'm speaking French and my partner's speaking German and we're just not understanding each other. So there's this quote that I see once that says, you know, when a person, something to this effect, that when a person speaks to you in your language is when you understand. So sometimes you need to try a handful of different approaches to be able to get through to that person, because I don't feel like this person's not listening to you. I just don't think they're quite able to comprehend where you're coming from. And this is where communication and comprehension can cause a bit of a challenge, because if you can't comprehend where the other person's coming from, even no matter how much communication you have, you're not going to resolve it. So I do feel a little bit like you guys have got to work together and you've got to find a way to communicate it to this person, just how much this means to you and how much stability and financial security means. Because I think they're just a little bit, the energy I feel, or you're just a little bit more relaxed about it, is what it is, kind of go with it. But there's this element and this want to build for the future, and that's currently, I feel, not happening in this connection. We've got the Queen of Wands, so I think, you know, with this is all about action. So I think if the advice I'm giving you in the future situation for the rest of this month, Virgos, is that you need to communicate in the physical about this and actually be honest with them. And whilst, you know, you might have been feeling like, oh my God, this should be so, you know, so much hard work, you know, I'm saying something really basic here, like, I don't know, save your money, or let's do a budget, or let's plan for the future and buy a house, or whatever. And this person's like, yeah, cool, we'll do it. And they're on their own time frame. They're on their own timeline that is not quite in sync with yours. And I think there needs to be an element of compromise, because at the minute, I do feel like with this coming out in the reverse here, you're in a position where you don't feel like you're reaping the fruits of your labour. You know, the seeds you're sowing are not yielding the results that you want. And this person, I feel like, is, oh, there's more to life than money. I sort of hear that. I don't know if that will resonate with a few of you here, but maybe there's a balance on this whereby it's not 100% what you want, and it's, you know, 100% what they want, that there could be somewhere in the middle that kind of enables you to build up for the future, but maybe on a slightly longer timeline. You know, I don't know what your situation is, but take what resonates with you. This person's not trying to be malicious. I do feel like that their energy is not malicious, you know, because this person is your wish come true, and we've got two of those, you know, wishes being granted. So I do think that once you get through to this person in the right way and speak to them in their a language that they're going to understand, you'll be able to move away from this, you know, this element of waiting for them to do something about it. I think you've got to step forward and communicate. Yeah, because look, we've got the Nine of Cups, so there can be satisfaction. I feel a little bit here like this one cup that's missing to make you completely satisfied and happy in this connection is the fact that they're just not very good potentially with money. I'm going to pull a romance oracle card for you guys as well for the rest of this month, just so you can see, you know, what else they're giving you advice on. But these issues are not things that can't be fixed. You know, this isn't, oh, the relationship is doomed and so forth. It's actually a really good energy on this connection. I find it quite fun and light, but obviously there's this one little niggle that's not being resolved, and I think one of you's feeling not listened to. And the risk that you have, I learned this from a video I watched from Be a Good Soul a couple of weeks ago, I think it was. And the problem that you've got is when there's frustration, which is kind of what this energy is in the upright, when there's frustration, that can then lead to anger, which can then lead to, if it's not resolved and that frustration, it can then lead to depression and illness. So it's really important to nip things in the bud at the frustration stage before it gets to anger, because the last thing you want is to be arguing and butting heads with somebody, because the whole idea of a partnership is to stand side by side and fight the world, not toe to toe and fighting each other. So I definitely think that, you know, this person, you or they, need to kind of take the situation more serious, but find a balance that works a little bit better than it currently is, where you both give a bit. Attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. So again, the advice I would give you with this is to have a conversation with this person, but don't be emotional, because they might not interpret it that way. I think it's killing it with a bit of humour is the advice that I would give you, because I think if you go in with the sword energy when you have this conversation, it's going to come across pretty cold and just almost maybe a bit like do as you're told. And if this person is quite sort of relatively immature and fun and light-hearted, they're just going to feel like you're telling them what to do. If you go in with fire energy, it's going to create anger and frustration, I think. And if you go into emotional, it's going to be like you're guilt tripping them into what you want. So I do feel a little bit with like these two cards here, is taking light of the situation and just agreeing a way forward that you're both happy with, but in a more jovial way. Sort of, I would say that with the Page of Pentacles here, the communication needs to be grounded. Just genuine, honest communication. Because I don't think this person is deliberately trying to upset you or you them. Yeah? Okay, that concludes the reading for Virgos. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll check up with you guys next week. We're at 58 minutes. And we'll move on to Capricorns. So, hiya Cappies, welcome in. I'm going to be doing a general love reading for you guys for the rest of October. I say the word love, it doesn't have to be a love reading. This is just a general sort of connection reading. So it could be family, it could be friends, it could be a work colleague, it could be your partner, soulmate, twin flame, whatever resonates with you. So let's take a little look. Like the others. Let's see what's going on for you guys, shall we? Ready? What's happening for my Capricorns for the rest of this month? Sense some stubbornness here. Okay, so the energy of this reading feels quite heavy, Capricorns. So we've got a situation here in the past where, you know, you're feeling satisfied, but there's just this one cup missing. There's this sort of element of this connection that's just not sitting right with you. Something doesn't feel right. I feel almost a little bit here as well that you're, in speaking your truth with that person, you're concerned about what the outcome's going to be. You're worried about how that information is going to be received. The Death card in the upright is about transformation. It's about sort of the birth of new things and new beginnings. When it's when it's in reverse, this is kind of, things are not changing. The energy I feel with this almost is like, I've spoken about this so much, and do you know what, I just don't get through to you. I've told you, and I've made it very clear the things that I'm, you know, what I need from this connection, and guess what, nothing's changing. And I feel that there's an element of frustration brewing here. I really do, and this person just not reciprocating. There's not the reciprocity that you're looking for in terms of feeling heard and understood in this connection. You know, you've got the Nine of Cups here in the past situation, but look, there's this missing cup. You want that Ten of Cups with this person, and this person, you know, the King of Wands in reverse, this person's just not budging. There'd be, you know, with the Emperor, this could be another fire sign that you're dealing with here, Capricorns, but with the Emperor card coming out, this person's digging their heels in. You know, there's a real air in the present situation of just sort of stubbornness of, you know what, take it or leave it. This is how it is. Don't like it, leave. I feel the energy is quite a bit sort of almost like an ultimatum. And I do feel like there's just this craving for some sort of forward movement in the physical, and it's just not happening. And you've waited and waited, and it's just not moving anywhere quickly. It's a bit like that saying, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And it's almost a little bit like, it doesn't matter how much you're talking to this person, they're just not grasping how important that you know, that one cup is to you that's missing. Like it or lump it, I'm hearing. Doesn't sound very sort of cooperative. I do feel that whatever this situation is, you're just not able to find the stability that you're searching for within this connection, Capricorns. I really do. I think this lack of movement is making you almost feel, or them almost feel like you just don't value them. You don't consider them or care about them enough. Look at this. Flicky hair. And I do feel at the moment, emotionally, there is an air of wanting to sort of walk away from this connection, definitely. The advice from the cards is to take a little bit of time out for yourself, and whilst this situation may be causing you conflict, anxiety, perhaps even a bit of depression here, you know, this feels heavy. There's a lot of upset in terms of how to move forward with the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse as well. You just, at the moment, it feels like the energy is, what do I do? How do I move this forward? Because it almost feels a little bit like you cannot compromise on this one cup that this person's, you know, missing. And this person's just not taking that seriously. And this feels for me like this could be a make or break situation for you guys in this connection. I would definitely, over the next few weeks, for the rest of this month, take some time out for yourself and just go within and really figure it out, you know, what your next steps are going to be, because at the minute it does just feel very stuck. It's like put up or get out, really. That's how it feels. And I guess you've got some decisions to make on whether that will sit right with you forever, you know. Passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. So again, this could be an issue to do with passion within the connection as well, and that there's conflicts on that. Or it could just be a situation that you're completely passionate about, and this person just really isn't getting it. It's not as important to them as it is you, or vice versa. So yeah, take a bit of time out, try and get some rest, and I'm sure the answers will come as you know, the more you go within and focus on yourself, the more the more clarity you'll have. All right, Capricorns, that concludes your reading for this for the next couple of weeks, but I'll catch up with you guys again next month. Thank you very much for checking in. 1 hour, 3 minutes. I'm going to move on to the Aquarius reading now, guys. Hi Aquarius, welcome in. I hope you're doing well. I'm going to be doing a general love reading for you guys for the rest of this month. But please note that this reading is general, and it doesn't have to be about love. It can be any connection that you've got. It could be a work colleague, it could be friends, it could be family, it could be your soulmate, it could be a twin flame. You know, take what resonates with you. I'm going to do 4 shuffles, as I have done for every other sign during these readings. We'll see what's going on for Aquarius. Hello. One more shuffle for you guys. We're going to look at the past, present and future situation for you guys Aquarius as well in this connection. Okay, so I'm just going to split the deck and we'll take a little look at what's going on. Right, okay, so the energy of this reading for me, guys, feels a bit like a possible split up, okay? I feel that with this connection, Aquarius, that you've wanted to see forward movement in it for a while and it's just not been happening. I feel like almost you want to see movement, but it's not happening, and this person's just resisting the urge to take this relationship to the next step. One of you are. I think there is a desire in the past situation to see a victorious outcome, but there's also a desire to bring about this sort of stagnant cycle to a close, and bring about change. I feel like in the present situation with this reading, there's been some deception. One of you has not been straightforward with the other. And this could be, when we talk about a third party situation, I'm not talking about they're cheating on you or you're cheating on them. It could be that, but it could also be, third party could be something like they're spending too much time at work. It's any situation that's basically going to put a blockage within your connection that's a bit of a stumbling block for you guys. So when I use the term third party, please just obviously consider that could be whatever you relate that to within your life, but it's something that's blocking your current connection with this person. And with the Five of Swords and the Three of Swords energy, and also the Five of Cups in the present situation, there's a lot of heartache in this. Really, really genuine mental deception, and also emotional sadness, discontent, conflict. Whatever this situation is, it has really thrown a spanner in the works on this connection, and it's kind of almost ground this relationship to a bit of a halt. I feel a little bit here, like with the Fool in reverse, the Fool is about sort of new beginnings and embarking on a new journey. And when you get that in the upright and sort of taking that leap of faith, and I feel that in the reverse, this is like this person, one of you wants this new beginning and to kind of overcome this heartache and pain, but the other one is like, I ain't there yet, mate. I really, really do feel that sort of leap of faith and that faith to kind of perhaps re-engage in this relationship after whatever has caused this pain is just not there. I feel at the time almost as well, one of you didn't really stand up for yourselves, and you should have. And that hesitancy to sort of continue or start again is a big problem. I feel almost in the future situation for you guys Aquarius that, and you're coming up here in your own meeting with the Queen of Swords, you need to bring about some clarity to this situation and some closure, because, upon speaking your truth and being, the energy of like the Queen of Swords is assertive. So if you haven't asserted yourself on this given situation in the past, or them to you, now is the time to do that. Because whilst the Nine of Pentacles is kind of like, it's that single lady or single energy, I feel like perhaps for this new beginning and this new cycle, if you're contemplating cutting this person out of your life to bring yourself satisfaction and being single, that could be where your new beginning comes. But I think perhaps maybe there's hesitancy about cutting this relationship out of your life for that. And you know what? Only you can decide, only you can follow your intuition on whether what this person has put you through or what you've put them through is enough for you to say, I'm out. And you know what my advice is, if you're not sure and there isn't any real movement at the minute, is still continue to take that time. I'll pull a few more cards for advice, yeah. Okay, this all makes sense, yeah. Okay, so we've got the Six of Pentacles in reverse, and the Six of Pentacles in the upright is about balance. So clearly this connection is unbalanced at the moment, and you're not sure how to be able to bring about balance in that. I think whatever's happened in this connection, you're not sure that you can continue to be happy. So the advice of the cards for the next few weeks is to just take a bit of time out to yourself and say to this person, do you know what, I will speak to you when I'm ready. You know, don't rush these things, because I think if you rush them, you know, that gives breeding ground for potential regret. So definitely just take that time out for yourself. And again, with the Queen of Pentacles, it's about just grounding yourself and doing what's right for you. You know, I think potentially there could be issues with finances, and that's perhaps maybe why you're still there, or they're still with you. But my advice at this stage is to take the next few weeks out, really sort of figure out what direction you want to go in and find some sort of grounding before you make any decisions. Yeah, before you move forward. If this person truly cares about you, they'll give you the time that you need, or vice versa. Sorry, I just got a pop up on my screen, so if the video went, then I apologise. But yeah, that's the advice. I'm going to pull you a Romance Angel card as well, just to give you an additional bit of info for the next couple of weeks. Release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. Okay, so again, follow your own intuition, but obviously if this is something that you're contemplating, take what time you need to make that break. Okay. Right, that concludes the reading for Aquarius. We're at 1 hour 11 minutes. I'm going to be moving on to Gemini, so thank you very much for checking in, Aquarius. Welcome in, Geminis. I hope you're doing well. This is going to be a general love reading for you guys for the month of October. When I say love, I mean it doesn't have to be. It could be a relationship with a colleague, it could be family member, friend, but it's a general look at the energies of a relationship of sorts, or a connection of sorts in your life, past, present and future, for the next couple of weeks. Okay, we'll see what's going on there for you guys. One more. I'm going to split the deck and we'll see what's happening. Okay, I feel like the energy of this reading is there's been a little bit of conflict within this connection. There's been a cross swords and a bit of cross communication here. Okay, so we've got the Knight of Swords here, and this is about sort of brash, cold communication, but I almost feel a little bit like it was communication that needed to happen, because prior to that point there was conflict. And I think this particular conversation that you guys have had with each other has released that conflict and actually created some unity with you guys in terms of working together within this connection in the past situation. I do feel a little bit like one of you was waiting here in the present situation, and then you've got the Eight of Pentacles here. And the Eight of Pentacles in the upright is about putting work in, and I feel a little bit here like one of you was waiting for the other person and they weren't putting the same effort, or the relationship wasn't overly balanced, and this became quite toxic. But I feel that with this latest communication that you guys have had in the present situation, you're moving away from that now. You've agreed how to move forward and what to work on going forward so that you can see some movement. In the future situation, I do think, guys, we've got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, okay? So this is, again, when it's in the upright, this is talking about big shifts, big changes. So I do feel like this coming up in the reverse is going to be slow and steady progress. Okay, so this may be, because this is sort of new boundaries that you guys have agreed within this connection, it may be a little bit of a case of 10 steps forward and 2 back. So be patient is the advice I'm getting for the future situation. And the King of Cups here, this is about emotional fulfillment, but it's also about speaking honestly about how you feel. So I think if you guys, as long as you keep your communication levels up with each other and you're honest, I don't see why there can't be a successful outcome on this. I think in the past, perhaps you guys, one of you you've not spoke honestly about how you feel and the level of effort that's going in. So the advice of these cards going forward is not to get stuck in that same rut. Yeah, do not get stuck in the same rut where you're you're not speaking honestly about how you feel. I think it's a case of nipping things in the bud as they come up, rather than putting them in a bank and then bombarding the person at the end. This works both ways, obviously. Okay, so we're going to look a little bit of advice for you guys for the coming, for the rest of this month. Yeah, communication. Make sure that you communicate with each other. Yeah, look, with this, the advice of these cards is to make sure that you keep the communication up, because in communicating, you'll be able to create a really, really big change and shift in this relationship. With that Death card, it's all about transformation. And this is, you know, in life, it's not about what happens, it's how we deal with it, right? So if you guys can work together on this and move away from that mentality of being perhaps, you know, not asserting yourself or speaking about things as they come up and not telling the other person how you feel, I think it's you know, there's importance, it's important to have synergy within a connection so that you guys understand where each other's at, yeah? And, you know, this connection, once you guys get to grips with the communication and these new boundaries that you've put in place, there's huge transformation, because look, you've got the Lovers card there, and that, you know, that tells you everything you need to know about this connection, that it is a soulmate connection that is divinely guided, and you guys just need to be a lot more honest about how you're feeling. All right, I'm going to pull a card from the Romance Angel card for you, Oracle deck, just to give you a little bit of extra advice for the next couple of weeks, so we can see what's happening there. Make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So that's what I said. Both putting in the work to yield the results, as, you know, more hands make light work, right? So you are a team, and there's no I in team. All right, my darlings, good luck for the rest of this month, and I'll catch up with you guys next month. Time is now 1 hour 16 minutes. 5 seconds, and we're going to be moving on to, last but not least, my Libras. So hiya Libras, welcome in. I hope you're doing well. This is a general reading for the rest of the month of October for you guys. It's a general, I call it a general love reading, but it doesn't have to be specifically about love as in romance. It can be any sort of connection that you've got, so that could be friends, family, work colleagues, etc. Okay, I'm going to do 4 shuffles for you, and then we're going to take a look at the past, present and future situation for you guys within this connection. And then I'll pull a Romance Angel Oracle card at the end, just to give you a bit of additional guidance for the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to split the deck for you, and we'll see what the cards are going to say. Shuffle, and let's take a little look. Libras. Okay, so the energy that I'm getting from this initially in the past situation is that this is a connection that means a lot to you, yeah? But I feel like the previous energy on this has been one of not facing things off. I think there's been some upset because at the centre of the reading we've got the 4 of Cups. Yeah, and this is, sorry, 5 of Cups. Getting to the end of the reading now. So the 5 of Cups, and this is about feeling sort of emotionally conflicted, not completely and utterly fulfilled. And I feel almost here with the Knight of Wands in the past situation, I feel like you've moved away from burying your head in the sand about this situation, and you've spoken more honestly about it to your counterpart. And this has caused a bit of a shift, a bit of forward movement. I feel like a bit that, you know, there was resistance in the initial stages, but I do think that you guys are working together to find harmony within that. The present situation is I still feel that you're very hurt because you're desperate for this new beginning, and it's just not happening with this particular connection, and you want to bring about this cycle to a close, but you are being met with some resistance on this. I think with the 2 of Swords in reverse and also the 7 of Swords in reverse here, it's a bit like almost not facing things. So I feel a little bit like the energy here is denial. So I feel whatever this situation is that you guys have had a conversation about, one of you is in denial about it, and they're in denial of how much perhaps that this is impacting the other person. And there is a definite sort of imbalance within this connection at the moment because of it. But you've got to be honest with someone. You've got to be honest with the person that you're with. And with the Eight of Swords, I do feel like this is fairly stuck at the minute. Mentally, this person's kind of just not, they're just not, when you look at this energy here, this is all mental. This person is not processing what you've said at the minute. They're just not getting it. So it's making the ability to have forward movement within this connection at the minute quite difficult. But the truth of the situation is that you're not stuck. This is just an illusion, and you can move away from this feeling of being stuck. I'm going to pull a few cards just to give you a bit more additional guidance on this, Libra, because obviously this feels very heavy, and I want to be able to give you something tangible to work with for the next couple of weeks. But there is, there is conflict here because of this. You're just sort of not seeing eye to eye. You're not on the same page. Okay, so look, we've got the Ten of Swords, which is testament to the fact that this cycle mentally will come to a close over the next couple of weeks. There will be some shift within this person where they're gonna, you or they are gonna use your, their intuition a little bit more. I think at the moment, the advice of the cards is to just find a bit of stability within yourself mentally, take a bit of time out. And I think this person, or you or they, need to just slow your life down, take a bit of a break, perhaps even just go for a walk along the beach or in nature and just really regroup, put some tunes on, go out in the car for a drive. I always find that's relaxing. Listening to music and just really clearing your mind. There are plenty of meditation videos on YouTube for you guys to sort of clear yourself, clear your headspace mentally, because I think there's a lot of confusion and conflict, and you can't communicate with things until you fully understand them sometimes. So when there's a lot spinning around in your head and you're not fully processing what it is, or you don't understand it, it can be quite confusing, and it can cause a lot of upset. So I think the first challenge for the next couple of weeks is to just gain some mental clarity and clear your mind so that you're able to put things in order. Right now I feel like your head's a filing cabinet that's just been tipped out on the floor and you're not quite sure how to move it forward. This is you or them. But, tidying up that filing cabinet starts with the very first page. And my advice is to kind of go through and figure things out one by one and choose which page you want to shred and which ones you want to put back in the filing cabinet so that you can gain some clarity about how to move forward next. I would also try and tap into your intuition a little bit as well. Go with your gut feeling on what feels right in terms of bringing resolution to this particular connection at the moment. I'm going to pull a romance angel card for you guys as well, just to conclude the reading off. Worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Again, so this mirrors what I said about taking some time out. If somebody truly cares about you and there's conflict or confusion going on, they need to respect your request to have a bit of space to be able to just process what's going on and then get some clarity on it. I wish you guys well, and I'll look forward to checking in with you guys next month. And thank you to everybody again who's watched one of these readings today, and anybody that's subscribed to the channel. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the button down there somewhere and subscribe, and then hit the little bell so you can be notified when I upload readings. Thank you to everybody who's commented on videos, and if you haven't done so, please do check out my Instagram page. It's the same name as this channel, Soul1111, and I put weekly readings up on there as well for twin flames and by star sign once a month. So yeah, I'll look forward to checking you guys out over there as well. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye bye.